Adrian Rurafei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm really pleased to take a call in the Building Pools Amendment Bill. We've been talking a lot about protecting children, and at the core of this bill is about protecting people's safety around pools and spa pools. I remember in 1987, leading up to the Act, the Fencing of Swimming Pools Act 1987, and I distinctly remember there being a spate of fatalities from drowning around pools, and there was a real campaign about addressing that issue. And so this piece of legislation went through the House and was passed, and it has done what it set out to do. The number of fatalities from drowning has reduced significantly from that time, and when we consider, sir, our population that has risen over the last 30 years, that's a significant issue. So I want to first of all acknowledge that the Fencing of Swimming Pools Act has actually done its job. We on this side of the House, the Labour Party, we will support this bill to go to Select Committee. As this Act, the Fencing of Swimming Pools Act, under this amendment bill will be repealed. We want to make certain that that the safety of our children and our families at the core of these changes, and we need to be satisfied that everything that can be done will be done as part of this amendment. I also remember being part of a school board of trustees, and I know every time Ero came around, that was one of the key features that the school swimming pool, although we're talking about private swimming pools, I wanted to talk about schools and the role that schools play around water safety, because I think they play a significant role, and I'll link it to this amendment bill by saying that in a lot of our communities, our people don't actually have swimming pools, and they don't have private spa pools at home, but they do visit places where there are swimming pools and there are spa pools. So it's really critically important that schools play a role in ensuring that children in particular know the rules around safety, and that they operate under good practice at those schools, and so that that knowledge can be transferred to when those children are in a situation where they're perhaps visiting a property with a private pool. I know that children can be hugely influential with their parents as well. So having a set of guidelines for them will be very good for their parents who may or may not own swimming pools. I think it's a good idea for councils to regularly inspect private swimming pools, so that and to ensure that they are compliant. That is a very good thing. Also talking, I thought I might mention the role of young parents or new parents and parents with young babies. Last night we talked about extending paid parental leave, and I think that an additional 8 weeks might be quite helpful for parents to be able to be with their child on safety issues around pools. I think that while it's important to clarify the law and ensure pool owners have those options, I don't think the bill should be allowed to put aesthetics above safety, and I would I don't know what the stats are around drownings concerning spa pools, but I would suggest that the change around spa pools in particular is probably more to do with the aesthetics of not having to close off those swimming pools into a defined area by fencing them. And that's something I would encourage, and I'm sure the Select Committee will look at. I think that, and I refer again to the council's role in this bill. I think I would certainly be looking forward to hearing what their contribution to the Select Committee process will be, and how they see this operating, whether there will be significant costs for compliance. I think that and I read that 5% of young children who drown do so in temporary paddling pools, and so that is something that probably won't be covered by this bill, but it's certainly something that the Select Committee ought to look at to make sure that they consider all options around the fencing of swimming pools. And also, as my colleague Jenny Salesa mentioned, a lot of our people that go swimming, they don't go swimming in private swimming pools. They go to the beach, they go to rivers, and that is a whole area. I think that that we need to look really closely at as well. So, Mr. Speaker, as I said, we will support this bill to Select Committee, and that is my contribution. Kia ora.
I call Todd Muller.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Rise to take a